Currently, I'm pretty much getting little to no traffic on any of the fucking internet platforms. Big surprise! But here's a thought to kick around. So, would you agree that a good majority of people passed away between 2020 and present day? Associated with, sociological this, that, and the other thing. I'm sure you could probably fill in the blank. I'm sure plenty of you guys out there have your assumptions. And don't forget, people die every year. A lot of people die of pneumonia. At least that's what's written up on the death certificates. It's another thing to consider, but just the same, would you agree? Overwhelming number of people, or at least were written off, allegedly, as having passed away between 2020 and present day. Yeah? Okay, so look up what eugenics is and why eugenics is an agenda. I mean, it's not rocket science. I'm not stringing these dots together for you. And that's what most people expect. But if you connect these two dots, eugenics is alive and fucking well. But most people aren't thinking for themselves. Most people aren't invested in the slightest. Most people don't have any fucking priorities, which is why that agenda took off and had legs and continues today. These are things that would come up, but they don't come up because most people want to wax poetic and talk about semantics and try to dress up eugenics as something that it's not. Numerous facets of what you and I are experiencing today in terms of society are rooted in eugenics. Just to touch on, what the pseudo-intellectual kids out there promote but don't understand because they confuse entertainment with research, look up Darwin. Most of Darwin's family promoted eugenics. The same applies to almost every single fucking, face person you'll see on the box. People that are figureheads, they're all part of the same fucking club. So here's another way to think of this. Would you agree that you and I are part of a class system based on tiers? TIERS, if I spelled it right. A class system. Would it be in our master's benefit, or to our master's benefit, to build you and I up and keep us healthy and well, to truly educate us, through the very institutions that they fund and moderate? This lends itself to eugenics. Dumbing the populace down is part of this fucking plan. And it's working quite well. I've had kids complain, God, dude, you're always bashing emojis. What the fuck? And of course, they don't say it that way. It's even worse than that these days. I'll get an SMPH maybe, and some jargon in there, and maybe a social engineering sticker, ironically. Emojis are social engineering stickers in place to do away with abstract thought because eugenics is alive and fucking well. It's continuing unabated. No one's doing the right fucking thing. No one's doing anything to stop this shit. It's a problem. People are not challenging themselves. They're not challenging each other, and they sure as shit don't understand what reflects reality, which is why the wool's been pulled over their eyes. It's a problem. If you talk about shit like this online, you too would be censored, just like me. Even though a lot of you out there are experiencing maybe low-level forms of censorship, we shouldn't be experiencing any censorship. Censorship is patently fascist. It's another arm of this eugenics agenda. Keep in mind, all this shit is rooted in the Tavistock Institute, which has to do with social engineering, associated with the eugenics agenda. And this is one of the most superficial fucking things under the sun that everybody should be well aware of today, because it's right in your fucking face. If you're using, Social media. Are you familiar with the social engineering platforms? If so, then you've probably experienced some of these tactics, which means how can you ignore these things? How can you just wish it away or pretend it's not there or dismiss it or explain it away or however else I should dress it up? But that's what people are doing because complacency got us this far. And as always, what the fuck do I know?